Good evening, televiewers, and welcome to this edition of our bilingual news on Creative World Info TV. In the headline, the school year 2020-2021 is gradually drawing to its end, and consequently, official exams are at the door. Examination fever is therefore high in students that are busy making last-minute preparations. We shall be bringing to you in this newscast advice from an experienced teacher who is our news guest to help students better prepare for their exams. The first part of this news is in the French language with Muriel Osongo. Bonsoir Muriel.
Good evening Célestine. Ouvrons ce journal avec les échos de nos différentes églises ainsi que leurs activités au courant de la semaine. C'est avec vous, Raïssa Azefak.
L'occasion la plus belle qui ait jamais été offerte à quelqu'un et particulièrement à une jeune personne, viens, suis-moi. Ceci a été le grand cri du Saint-Esprit cette semaine, un appel lancé à la jeunesse. Ce message du prophète William Marion Branham, tiré du livre de Luc chapitre 18 versets 18 à 22, est celui qui nous a éclairés et édifiés cette semaine. Comme recommandation du Saint-Esprit parmi tant d'autres, il a dit au paragraphe 93, je cite, « Il y a quelque chose dans cette vie qui ne s'obtient pas par héritage. Nous devons l'accepter. Cette chose, c'est la vie éternelle. » Vous ne pouvez l'accepter qu'en suivant Jésus, par l'expérience de la nouvelle naissance. Ne négligez pas cela. Toujours cette semaine, nous avons écouté un autre message du prophète William Marion Branham intitulé « Le sceau de Pâques ». Première partie. Dieu a pensé, le prophète a parlé, nous avons cru. Cela règle la question. Et c'est sur ces propos majestueux du révérend Samuel Baoya que nous clôturons la semaine.
Page santé, Josiane Gillot nous donne les causes et conséquences du paludisme, mais aussi comment prévenir cette maladie. Écoutons plutôt.
Le paludisme est une infection parasitaire transmise par les moustiques du genre Anopheles. Elle peut être transmise à des êtres humains par 4 espèces du parasite Plasmodium à savoir Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium ovale, Plasmodium malariae. Le Plasmodium falciparum est le plus dangereux de ces parasites. L'infection qu'il provoque peut tuer rapidement. Alors, vous ne pouvez contracter le paludisme par une transfusion sanguine d'un sang infecté. Le paludisme peut aussi être transmis de la mère au fœtus pendant la grossesse. Les symptômes et les complications apparaissent généralement 1 à 3 semaines après l'infection. Les personnes atteintes du paludisme présenteront plusieurs symptômes suivants: une anémie, un appétit médiocre, une douleur abdominale, les frictions et des sueurs, des maux de tête. Pour ne citer que cela, le traitement et prévention. Si elles sont diagnostiquées suffisamment tôt, le paludisme se guérit. Le traitement dure généralement 3 à 7 jours selon les types de médicaments. Si vous vous rendez dans une région paludéenne, il est fortement conseillé de suivre un traitement préventif. Étant donné que les moustiques se nourrissent pendant la nuit, tenez-vous à l'écart des zones de danger comme les champs, les forêts et les marécages. Utilisez une moustiquaire lorsque vous dormez. Portez des vêtements à manches longues et des pantalons de couleur claire. En outre, l'emploi des spirales anti-moustiques et des insecticides en aérosol peut contribuer à une meilleure protection.
Tu t'inclineras devant les cheveux blancs. C'est la notion de respect donnée par la parole de Dieu. Et pourquoi devons-nous respecter les personnes du 3e âge? Écoutons à cet effet Clémence Niem.
Si le monde contemporain apparaît de plus en plus caractérisé par une disparition, voire une perte réelle des valeurs morales, éducationnelles et spirituelles, la jeunesse, surtout celle qui craint Dieu, devrait rester en marge d'un tel état de choses. D'entrée de jeu, il est à noter que le terme « vieux », loin de faire référence à une tranche d'âge bien précise, renvoie aussi et surtout au statut de la personne que l'on a en face de soi. Ainsi, pour s'assurer une vie longue et prospère, par exemple, la Bible commande à l'enfant, quel que soit son âge, d'honorer son père et sa mère, si jeune soit-il. Ce verset tiré de l'épître de Paul aux Éphésiens, au chapitre 6, s'avère assez évocateur, déterminant et donc incontournable. Par ailleurs, c'est le lieu de souligner la nécessité pour les jeunes d'avoir une conduite respectueuse à l'égard de leurs aînés, puisque c'est en étant à leurs pieds qu'ils apprendront le respect d'autrui, le respect de la chose d'autrui, la science, la sagesse de la vie, etc. Ils acquerront l'expérience et des qualités telles l'honnêteté, la politesse, l'effort dans le travail, l'amour, le pardon et j'en passe. Autant de valeurs qui, découvertes à l'âge adulte, ne sont pas toujours facilement applicables. Ne dit-on pas souvent « si jeunesse savait, si vieillesse pouvait ». Dès lors, et pour tout dire, le respect de l'aîné avant d'être une culture qui rentre dans les mœurs africaines est un commandement divin, d'où la nécessité pour chacun de nous d'en faire une application à sa personne. Je cite, « Tu te lèveras devant les cheveux blancs ».
Dans le même sillage, la parole prescrit aux enfants obéissance à leurs parents. Victor Samet nous en dit plus.
Enfants, obéissez à vos parents selon le Seigneur, car cela est juste. Honore ton père et ta mère, c'est le premier commandement avec une promesse, afin que tu sois heureux et que tu vives longtemps sur la terre. Éphésiens 6, versets 1 à 3. La Bible le déclare, c'est donc plus qu'un souhait, plus qu'une demande, c'est un ordre. Tout enfant se doit d'honorer ses parents, peu importe ce qu'ils sont, qu'ils soient chrétiens ou non. L'obéissance des enfants envers leurs parents est donc une nécessité. Les paroles des parents ont très souvent un effet sur leurs enfants. Alors enfants, sachons tirer la bonne part, car on est toujours heureux lorsque nos parents sont fiers de nous. Une seule chose à faire donc, pour rester en compagnie du bonheur, respecter ses parents.
Ils se sont donnés pour mission de travailler pour le compte du royaume des cieux par l'évangélisation. Le rapport avec le docteur Emmanuel Lingok.
Ce samedi 29 mai 2021, la caravane d'évangélisation de Yahshua Tabernacle s'est mobilisée à nouveau sur le terrain. Les bien-aimés de cette caravane, conscients de ce que le diable recrute sans répit, les âmes inconscientes dans son cénacle, s'activent chaque jour pour contrer la rage de l'ennemi. Pour cela, ils sont debout comme un seul homme chaque samedi, longeant les artères de la ville de Yaoundé, balayant tous les grands carrefours pour prêcher l'évangile, distribuant tracts et traités, question de ramener la dernière âme à Christ et la forcer d'entrer. C'est dans cette perspective que samedi dernier, le carrefour de Tourobé, au lieu du Parlement et Office, a servi de cadre pour la proclamation de la bonne nouvelle. De 14h à 16h30, une douzaine d'évangélistes ont fait bouillonner ce carrefour à travers la proclamation de la bonne nouvelle. Comme résultat, plusieurs cas de baptême ont été enregistrés. Les candidats au baptême sont venus à l'église pour prendre leur baptême. Nous bénissons le Seigneur qui ajoute dans sa bergerie chaque jour les âmes qui doivent être sauvées.
You are watching Creative Word Info TV. After ending with the message, The Unveiling of God, last Wednesday, Christians of Yahshua HaMashiach Tabernacle, Love Divine Sanctuary, and Shalom Tabernacle Edea continued in listening to the voice of God in the sermon of the prophet, Come Follow Me, on Friday. They ended the week with a wonderful sermon on Sunday. Let us listen to what Banino Zugia gathered for us.
A week rich in blessing for God's people in our assemblies, Love Divine Sanctuary, Yahshua HaMashiach Tabernacle, and Shalom Tabernacle Edea. God richly blessed his people after they finished listening the tape, The Unveiling of God, last Sunday. God is veiled for the unbeliever, but unveiled for the believer. On Wednesday was the listening of the tape, Come and Follow Me, in which Prophet Branham addressed young people to make a consequent choice for their future, to know who to follow as a role model. He exhorts every man to take the best opportunity ever given to a man to follow Jesus. And this Sunday, it was Pastor Bahoya Samuel who introduced the tape, The Easter Seal from Edea, before making an exhortation on the importance of sacrifice.
His God was trying you. As he gave you 50,000 francs yesterday, you wanted to change that to 5 million. But you understood nothing.
God accepts a sacrifice that is expensive and is a no one's debtor.
The obedience of children to parents is not only a necessity but a biblical prescription with an added blessing. Here is the report of Ruth Chwangem.
One of the blessings God has given to men amongst others is to give them an offspring. They could either be a subject of joy and consolation for some, or a subject of sadness and sometimes regret for others. On one hand, an obedient child makes his or her parents proud, and on the other, a sad atmosphere would definitely be the daily bread for the parents of this category of children. Obedience is therefore a necessity, a duty, and an obligation for children in order to be the pride of their parents. They are bound to pay due respect and obedience towards their parents who took care of them since birth, brought them up, and raised them till the age of being independent. Besides, this is to their own advantage, as their days on earth and prosperity many depend on it. As it is written in the Bible in the book of Ephesians chapter 6 verse 1 to 3, I quote, "Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise, that it may be well with thee, and thou mayest live long on the earth." In a nutshell, we will not say it enough. Obedience is better than sacrifice.
The potentials of elderlyhood, such as experience, wisdom, and many others, are not to be neglected by the youths. The importance of respect to the elderly by youth was reiterated last week by Reverend Bauya Samuel in his sermon. With the voice of Noelando, the Creative Word Info TV tells us more.
Leviticus 19 verse 32 says, and I quote, "Stand up in the presence of the aged, show respect for the elderly, and revere your God. I am the Lord." End of quote. This is a divine recommendation given by God through Moses. Having gone through different situations in life, the elderly are usually living libraries full of advice. The elderly have once been young and face challenges the youths are facing now, hence have usually words of wisdom to share with the younger generations. Spending time with them, being polite, helping them, listening more than talking when with them, are simple gestures that go a long way to make them happy and gather blessings, for respecting the word of God always bring along blessings. In the Bible, we can see King David, when aged and full of years, called Solomon, his son and successor, to give him advice as to how to rule the kingdom, having done so himself successfully. We end by quoting Paul in his letter to the Philippians in chapter 4, verse 8. "Finally, brethren, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is of good repute, if there is any excellence and if anything is worthy of praise, dwell on these things."
Up next is our news guest, Christian Ombang, a teacher with advice for students to better prepare their exams.
Good afternoon, Brother Christian Ombang.
Good afternoon, my dear sister.
We are happy to have you as the honored guest in this edition of Creative Word Info TV News. You are really frequent in our programs due to your multiple functions. Well, today we are receiving you upon your pedagogic experience as a teacher and as a principal of Marqueso College. To begin, we are almost at the end of the third term of the school year. What are the activities going on in schools in this period in time?
Well, we are indeed going towards the end of the school year 2020-2021. A good number of activities are currently taking place. Students are on the going final exam for the promotion to the next class. This is particularly for the intermediate classes. Those in examination classes have started with written sessions. Common entrances exams took place on the 18th of May. Francophones, those in upper six francophones, will be taking the written session of baccalaureate from next week. The week after, the BBC will start. And for the others, they are going towards intensive preparation.
Okay. Furthermore, taking into consideration the modification of the timetable due to COVID-19, what has been made to ensure that students have the required materials to be ready for the various exams, and how effective are these measures?
Well, as far as the measures are concerned, government schools adopted what was called the shift system. That means the classes were divided in two. Junior students were going to school in the morning, and the elder ones were going to school in the afternoon. Now, as far as the material is concerned, it is the same material that the students have always been having, that is classes. The only problem that we had this year is that the school resumed in October, causing a forwarding of the school year to 1 month ahead. So that's why you will see many students are still going to school now rather than just going having preparations. So there was a small change in the way things are were being done in the past. Now, as far as the barrier measures are concerned, we also adopted all the instructions prescribed by the government. We imposed the wearing of face masks by all students and teachers. We we installed buckets with taps disposed on them for the washing, the automatic washing of hands, and we also have what we call social distancing. All those things are also adopted in our school here, not to stay apart from the government prescriptions.
Wow, that's great. Moreover, which study methods are students supposed to apply in this period close to their exams to better assimilate their lessons?
Okay, I'll first of all need to mention that by this time, all school programs should have been concluded. So this period is mainly concerned with what we call intensive preparation. So all students normally should have a well-designed timetable, and they should be mostly concerned with the revision of uh, the lessons, and also correction of past questions. Yeah, that is what I can say.
Interesting. Again, how effective are study groups to last-minute preparation of exams?
Okay, study groups, they have always been a very, very good study method. Even in class, teachers often they often form groups, because there are some students when they are in class they don't have the possibility to express themselves. But when they are in a group with their peers, they can express themselves well. But there is a trap. There is a trap in study groups. Sometimes you will see a study groups of friends. In a study group, you will see that all students are strong students. In another study group, you will see that all students are poor students. Sometimes you will see in a study group, all students are good in a subject and poor in another subject. No, that is not the way study groups are made. Study groups are made in a way that students should complement one another. In that way, an ex-student can be good in mathematics, another student can be good in physics, another student can be good in French, and they come together and they complete one another. In such a way, all students in the group will succeed. That's how group study should work.
That's very important. To end, what are the key advices you can give to examination students who are watching you now on Creative World Info TV to help them better prepare for their upcoming exams?
Well, for examination students who are preparing final exams now, it is very important to be concentrated. So they have to avoid all activities that don't have to do with studies. they should mostly be concentrated with studies. Avoid distraction. Avoid friends that do not bring them anything. What I could say in inverted commas, useless friends. If they have to have friends now, it should be the friends that can help them really press on. And most importantly, I would say they should be prayerful.
Dear students, hope you've heard what our brother said. That's very important. Creative World Info TV thanks you for honoring her invitation once more.
I am the one thanking Creative World Ministries Info because of the trust they put in me by really giving me this interview.
Okay. Thank you and good luck to all students preparing for their exams.
C'est la fin de ce journal qui a bénéficié de la collaboration de l'équipe Parole Créatrice Info TV. À la réalisation, Abel Temeu, la coordination de Ghislain Ganguet et la supervision générale du révérend pasteur Baoya Samuel. Merci de votre fidélité et à très bientôt pour une nouvelle édition du journal sur votre chaîne Parole Créatrice Info TV. Au revoir Célestine.
Goodbye.